Hi, I'm Terry and welcome to Cat Scratch Kitchen. If you're anything like me, you've got that sweet tooth, but you're also trying to keep the carbs and sugar in check, especially during the holidays. That craving for a warm slice of sweet potato pie or that incredible brown sugar glazed sweet potato bundt cake that we made just last week is real. But if I told you we could take that warm, spiced comfort food and turn it into a creamy, dreamy ice cream? So what do we turn to for a great guilt-free dessert? The Ninja Creami, of course. No one has to feel left out for this holiday season. Today we're putting a classic dessert twist on the Ninja Creami. I'm making a sweet potato pie ice cream that tastes incredibly indulgent, but is easily customizable to be low carb and macro friendly. Don't worry, if you aren't counting macros, I'll give you the full sugar, full fat options too, so you can make a scoop everyone will love. So grab your apron and your Ninja Creami cup and let's make some magic. Okay, I'm going to mix everything up in just my little mini blender. You can also do it by hand, not a problem. Okay, I'm going to start with 10 ounces of milk. I'm using skim milk because I'm going to be making the low carb, low calorie version. You can use any type of milk you want, 2% whole milk, it's up to you. And then I'm going to add a half a cup of mashed and cooked sweet potatoes. Now these are unseasoned, unsweetened. If you're making a sweet potato casserole or something like that, save some aside and put it in the freezer. You can use it to make this. Or if you want the full fat version, full calorie version, you can use some of that you already have mixed up for your sweet potato pie or sweet potato casserole. Just don't add the sugar and seasoning to it when you put it in your little blender. This has not been sweetened or spiced. Next, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of cheesecake flavored instant pudding mix. Now this is the no sugar version. If you don't care about that, you can use the full sugar version. But this adds to the creaminess and smoothness of your ice cream. Then I'm going to use some confectioner sugar. I'm using a replacement brand like Swerve. You can use regular if you prefer. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of that. And the last thing we need is our pumpkin pie spice. Now, if you don't have it on hand, I have a video that I'll link below that shows you exactly how to make it yourself. And I'm going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon. And like I said, if you're using sweet potato mixture that you've already made casserole or pie out of, you don't have to add the sweetener or the spice because you've already got that in there for your casserole. Now I'm just going to put it on my little mixer and give it a good buzz just so it's all completely combined. And that's as easy as it gets. I don't want to mix it too much because I don't want a bunch of bubbles on top. Now I'm just going to take my creamy container. Now this makes enough for the pint size container. If you're using the deluxe that has the larger container, you need to adjust this a little bit, or you can just make a partial container. And that makes just as much as we need. Now we're going to put it in the freezer. Cover it if you like. Now sometimes I don't cover it because it keeps mine from getting a hump on the top. But if you want to, you can put a top on it, put it in the freezer for 24 hours, and then we will come back and we'll run it through our Ninja Creami and you can see how it turns out. Okay, after 24 hours, I've taken out my pint. Now if you have a hump on the top, I just take a fork or a spoon and go across the top and level it out a little bit. I didn't have much of a hump on mine, so we're ready to go. I'll place it in the Ninja carrier, and I'm going to put on the top with the blade, stick it in our Ninja, lock it down, and we're going to run it on light ice cream. For the way that I made it today, which is the low calorie version, we're going to make it in light. If you're making full calorie, just set it on regular ice cream. Okay, now we're going to check it just to see if it's mixed well. Okay, if you have a powdery looking texture like this, just go ahead and respin it. You can respin it a couple of times without causing any kind of problem. Okay, this is after our first respin. We're almost there. Still a little bit powdery, so I'm going to respin it one more time. And that's what we're looking for, nice and smooth. Now, if you wanted to add to your ice cream at this point, right there where you've got that well made, go ahead and add some chopped up pecans or walnuts, or even some broken up graham crackers. Put it on your Ninja Creami again and hit mix-ins, and it'll add some texture to it, and you're going to love it. I like it just plain like this. It's nice and creamy, just like we want it to be. And you can see how easy and fast this was. You're going to feel like you have an indulgent dessert for Thanksgiving or Christmas just like everybody else. The time it takes is not going to add to your stress of making your dinner and getting it ready for everybody else. Now, as I made it, it's got 193 calories for the entire pint and 35 grams of carbohydrates and 11 grams of protein. And in fact, divide that in half, you've got a really low calorie, low carb dessert.